This is KNWA News at 6.
The Washington County Crisis Stabilization Unit has closed its doors early. Good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us tonight at 6. I'm Chad Mira. Chelsea Helms is on assignment this evening. Last month, the University of Arkansas for Medical Sciences announced it would back out of its service provider for the unit because it was underutilized. This led to the Washington County Judge's Office making the decision to close the unit at the end of June. Well, UMS says after the announcement was made, it received staff resignations that left the unit with only 4 employees. UAMS says this made it impossible to keep the doors open, which led to the unit ultimately closing on April 12th. However, Tad Sowers, the Director of Communications for Washington County, says the judge's office wasn't notified that the unit would be closing early. UAMS says it's working with the community to help refer patients to other treatment resources. We've done extensive coverage of the CSU closing since we first broke it to you last month. Our Kayla Cade talked with the Arkansas Justice Reform Coalition, who says the unit's been a resource that's been a lifesaver for families. You can find her reporting right now on KNWA.com. An old nuclear reactor site in Arkansas could help the U.S. Army. A tech startup and the University of Arkansas are partnering to open a new research facility at the site located in West Fork. Extremists will make the site, dubbed Devil's Den Proving Grounds, into an innovative campus to improve wireless communications for the Army. Vice Chancellor of the Economic Development, Mike Malone, says the company looked at a range of universities across the nation to start this partnership. Malone says the U of A was a perfect fit for extremists.
They've already started hiring our graduates. They've entered into research partnerships with us, which is helping us do more research as a university. And they're going to grow a bunch more jobs, and I'm confident that they're going to hire a lot more of our graduates.
According to Malone, this partnership shows the university can help grow jobs and attract companies to Northwest Arkansas. We have the full story for you on our website. In continuing coverage tonight, Fayetteville Public Schools is looking for community partners to help provide a new learning experience for some of its middle schoolers. John L. Colbert and Holt Middle School are both launching Learning Choice programs next year. Students at Holt will learn through the lens of science with hands-on experimentation and field experiences. John L. Colbert students will have an emphasis on outdoor adventures through field trips and interactive lessons. The community partners will go to campus or open their doors for the students as part of the new programs. If you or someone you know might be interested, there's a meeting happening right now at Holt Middle School. Cyber warfare has reached a new frontier, your kitchen sink. According to the FBI, foreign hackers are targeting water departments, and some other states have already been hit. That's why Arkansas Congressman Rick Crawford introduced new legislation to create the Water Risk and Resilience Organization. The task force would combine cyber and water system expertise to develop and enforce cybersecurity requirements so water systems data remains safe. Doug Shackelford with Central Arkansas Water says he's for anything that keeps water systems safe.
Water technology has come a long way, and we do depend a lot on our computer systems to operate our entire distribution system, our water treatment process.
Crawford's resolution still needs to be passed before going into effect. An out-of-state postal worker who found old letters from a World War II veteran from Arkansas found the family they now belong to. As our Tylissa Hampton reports, Alvin Gaucher, who works for the post office in Texas, made it his mission to deliver the letters that he found to the family in Arkansas, even if it meant hitting the road.
Traveling all the way from Grand Prairie, Texas, this post office worker made the long drive to Jacksonville, Arkansas. All to deliver this special piece of mail to this grateful family. On April 25th, Alvin Gaucher found undelivered letters while at work that ranged from 1942 to 1945 from World War II Army veteran Marion Lamb, but they had little detail of where to send them.
I just basically held it and did my research, contacted you all, and here we are.
After helpful emails and phone calls, Alvin's job took a different route after finding Marion's family.
I'm delivering the mail to Arkansas.
I'm very excited and very tearful.
Debbie Smith, Marion's niece, says the letters got lost when a family member in Tennessee sent them to her in Texas in a package full of their family history.
It didn't look like someone had opened it, the package came apart.
Joanne Smith, Marion's youngest sister, says all of her 5 siblings have died. Marion died in 2010, and the letters in her hands are single to none.
For me, it's a connection with my family.
They could hardly wait to read Marion's words for the first time.
And ask Joanne if she remembers me. I just
appreciate Alvin. He has really gone out of his way. People connect on different levels, and I feel as connected to Alvin as I do my family.
Thankful their family history was not lost. Alvin, a Marine Corps veteran, understands.
I wrote letters home to my parents when I was in Iraq.
Marion's words then brought together his family.
He was a hugger.
And his letters are still doing that now as they consider Alvin part of the family.
He made Mom cry.
What an incredible journey there, a man on a mission. Tylisa Hampton reporting there. Both Alvin and the families say they're extremely grateful for everyone's help in getting them connected and finding the letters. A deal to end the Israel-Hamas war is on the table. In Saudi Arabia, U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken urged Hamas to accept Israel's ceasefire deal. The deal would require Hamas to release some of the hostages taken during its October terrorist attack against Israel. South Carolina Republican Senator Lindsey Graham says Hamas should accept the agreement, but Connecticut Democrat Christopher Murphy says it's time for Israel to stop the attacks.
A military campaign alone cannot do the job to try to defeat an ideology like Hamas.
The only thing standing between the people of Gaza and a ceasefire is Hamas. They have to decide.
The Hamas-run Gaza Health Ministry says so far more than 30,000 Palestinians have died in the war. The conflict has prompted protests at universities. Blinken says he understands why people are speaking out, but says these protests have ignored Hamas. Blinken will be in Israel tomorrow and will urge leaders to do more to increase humanitarian aid to Gaza. As university protests continue to spread across the nation, a local group says it's aiming to spread its message in a peaceful way as talks of a ceasefire in Gaza continue. KNWA's Brianna Moore spoke with that organization today. She joins us in studio with more. Brianna.
I spoke with one member of the Friends of Palestine KNWA organization who tells me their goal is to educate while raising awareness in a peaceful manner right here in KNWA.
These are peaceful events where people are trying to demand justice so that peace can actually exist.
This is Jesse Buchanan, a member of the Friends of Palestine KNWA organization. Buchanan says the group works to educate the local community.
Number one is raising awareness about the issues going on in Palestine right now, because I think a lot of our community members tend to think that that's something very far away and not something that has something to do with us.
But Buchanan says this is not always the case.
We actually do have a pretty large Arab population and just a refugee population in Fayetteville and Northwest Arkansas in general.
He says that friends he has made in KNWA have been affected directly.
I know that I have friends who their relatives have been kidnapped by the Israeli military with no cause and no reason for why they were detained, and nobody was told where they were taken. They just disappeared.
As part of the mission of Friends of Palestine, KNWA is advocating for those that feel like they may not have a voice.
And I know that there are many Palestinian people in our community who are constantly in fear of losing their entire family at this point.
When I sat down with Buchanan to ask about the recent protests sparking across the country on several university campuses, he says that he advocates for peaceful protests but is inspired by students using their voice to stand up.
I think that it's inspiring to a large extent to see young people who are using their education to actually make the judgment call of, I have been educated in these topics and I know right from wrong, and it is time for me to step up and be an adult and take a stand.
As far as local protests, there have been no protests at the University of Arkansas, but I reached out to the university and I received this from John Thomas, manager of University Communications. He said in part the University of Arkansas works to protect freedom of speech for our campus community while preserving the campus for its primary purpose of education. Students may assemble peacefully to express their views in accordance with the university's facilities use policies and state law. We'll have all of that information over on our website, KNWA.com. Reporting in studio, Brianna Moore, KNWA, Northwest Arkansas News.
Thanks, Brianna. The city of Bella Vista is wrapping up its Arbor Day celebrations. We tell you how the city's working to maintain its natural beauty coming up.
And you've probably all seen Peyton Holt's Deacon Center field from this past weekend as it made the rounds on social media, and it was the #1 play on SportsCenter as well. But have you heard it from Peyton Holt's perspective? Yeah, we're going to let you hear it from him coming up.
Yeah, that was pretty awesome to see, and what was not awesome to see were all the storms in the area. We did need the rain, but there's a storm that produced a tornado. How do we know that, even though it was late at night? We'll have the details, and I'll show you some video of one of our WeatherBug Network cameras. We'll have that right after the break, along with your full forecast after sports.
from your home for the Paris Olympics. You're watching KNWA News at 6.